Hello everyone, welcome to another video. It is me, Desiree, and today we are fixing one of my biggest mistakes. So a few videos ago, and I feel like it was a few months ago at this point, but I potted all of my marantas, or as many as I could, into one pot because I was sick of them. I was so sick of them. I hated having all these little pots, all different times I had to water them. I don't know what it was. I just wanted all of them together so I could just water one pot. That was it. And in that video, I combined all of them into this pot. There was the lemon lime maranta, the maranta leuconeura, and there also used to be some red vein maranta in here. But this turned out to be like one of the ugliest things I've ever done. I put them all in here just out of convenience, and at the time I did like the way that it looked, but I really grew to hate this pink pot. So when I did this, I didn't like go buy a pot for it. I just found whatever was out in the porch that I thought would fit all of the plants. And I didn't really see the pot that much anyway because the vining, like the longer ones, kind of covered most of it up. But as you can see, this thing is so ugly and I absolutely hate it. So all of the red vein maranta that was in here, I think all of it died. It just didn't take to the transplanting very well. It wilted, it got crusty. I cut all of it off and I tried to save it. None of it rooted in the water. It just all rotted. So there is no red vein maranta in here. But what there is in here is a lot of dead stuff, a lot of crusty stuff. There's a little bit of the green one left. So what I'm gonna do today is take this thing apart and fix it and put it back the way that it was. I'm gonna take the leuconeura, this one. Oh, this one is so pretty. It's just like thin and floppy. I love this leaf so much. It's so beautiful. That one, and then I'm gonna put the green one in its own pots and just have two plants and water two separate plants and just be okay with it. So we're gonna fix this thing today. Okay, so I brought in these two pots, but now that I see the plant, I don't think the leuconeura, this one, is gonna fit in this little pot, but we'll see what they look like when I take them out. I'm not expecting a lot of the green one left, so I bought a tiny little pot for that, but let's just dump this out and see what we are working with. Or I'm gonna at least try to pull it out. And I'm just gonna reuse the soil that's in here too, because it's fairly new. Try to pull it without like ripping the plant apart. Okay, this is the green one. Let's just work with this one for now. Yeah, there's not a lot. I think I'm gonna be able to put it in this little pot here. So I did pick plastic, and I think this is like, I don't know, ceramic, because this plant does like to stay moist. I mean, probably doesn't want to stay wet, but I would say at least damp, like it likes a damp soil. What the heck kind of soil did I use? Because this looks like succulent soil. Like it looks very, very sandy. I bet I was kind of just using whatever was around. Maybe that's why it didn't work out. I don't know. This looks very, very, very sandy. Okay, I'm also going to cut off all of this dead stuff here. I do really like this plant. Oh look, there's like some corms or something in here. The little like seed things. I didn't even know that this plant grew those, but I think when I did that initial video, I want to say somebody commented saying that yes, it does grow corms, which is kind of cool. They're kind of just like seeds. All right, there's a dead piece there. No, you know, this soil, this is the soil that's in the plant. Like this isn't the soil I put in here. Like it's all mixed in here. This has to be what it came with. Okay, there's a good looking piece. Nice, that's a good looking piece right there. I am hoping that there's a lot of this one because I do really like the green one. And I'm gonna put it in this little pot here. That's gonna be so cute. So I'm just gonna kind of like set them in there for now. This soil just feels so weird. Maybe, I don't know. It just feels really sandy. Like it has playground sand in it or something. And the thing with maranta, at least in my experience, the crusty parts don't always just like fall off like they do with other plants. I find a lot of the time when I try to just like take off the crusty leaf, it'll rip off a new leaf and kind of just mess everything up. So I'm gonna try not to just rip them off because I have a feeling I'll end up ripping off a good leaf. I just said I wasn't gonna rip them off and I just did it anyway. Because I always think it's gonna end up fine. It's gonna be fine. Okay. There's this really long piece here. I don't know how I feel about that piece because it has just this long viney thing, but I bet hanging out of the pot it'll look okay. So this is what we're working with here. There's a couple crusty pieces. Let me set this in the pot. Oh yeah, that's gonna fit perfectly. You know, that looks a million times better. This looks a million times better. I don't know how I feel about this long viney piece here. I kind of feel like I want to cut it and put it in some water and maybe try to root it. Or maybe I'll just cut it and stick it right in the soil because I am going to water this right after this because it does need water to be watered anyway. I mean, these two leaves are like yellow. I'm just going to cut those off. Cut those bad boys off. All right, there's some dry crust. I keep saying I'm not gonna rip it, but okay, no, just cut that piece. The little, the dried up stems dry very, very hard, and they're very, like, still attached to the plant. So proceed with caution when you find yourself wanting to just rip off the dead leaves. Sometimes you'll just rip the whole plant up. I think, okay, hold on. Let's see what it looks like. Okay. I mean, it looks better. I don't know how I feel about, you know what, I'm gonna cut it off. I can't do it. I can't do it. Because I feel like once I cut it off, I feel like it's not gonna root. I can't decide. I mean, it looks cool there, but from here, it's just like a long, ugly vine. I did it. I did it. Okay, even if this is all that I end up keeping, this looks a million times better. I'm gonna cut this leaf off too. I usually hesitate to do stuff like this, like to cut leaves that look good, but once you cut it, it's over. It's over. And look, this looks a million times better. Oh my gosh, like even if this is all that survives, this looks so good. And I think what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna chance it here and I'm just gonna stick this directly into the pot and we'll just see what happens. And with maranta, the like node and where roots grow are these like little bumps or curves in the stem. So like this little stem right here, that's where the roots will grow. So if you're putting this in water, it'll grow from this little bump here, this little bump here. You kind of get a feel for it and you'll kind of recognize, I think of it as like the elbow of the plant, like right here where you think the plant's elbow is gonna be, where it bends, that's usually where the roots are gonna go. So I'm gonna chance it and guess the roots are gonna come out of here. And I'm just gonna stick it. No, I don't like that. I'm gonna cut it one more down. I don't wanna cut off these good leaves though. You know what? Oh well, I did it. I did it. I did it. And I'm gonna put these two leaves in there. You know, I feel kind of weird about this soil. I don't know why, it just seems so sandy. But that's what it was in. I don't remember putting that in there myself. Okay, and then I have this little piece that's growing kind of wild. I'm just gonna stick this also right there. I'm not expecting these pieces to do particularly well. I don't have any success most of the time. I don't even know if I've had success any of the time. Propagating plants directly in soil, I always have to put them in water first, but I'm just gonna go for it here. Okay, so this is what it looks like. I think this looks really, really, really good. And I am, you know, I just feel weird about this soil. I don't know why. Like, why is it so sandy? I'm gonna go grab a couple handfuls of something else, BRB. Okay, I just got a little bit of the Fox Farm Ocean Forest and some orchid mix. I don't know, it's just like a go-to thing. I'm just gonna fill this on up. And I'm so excited about this. I'm so excited about this. I hope those pieces do take to the soil and kind of root in, but I'm not expecting them to. And if they don't work out, I'm totally fine with that because the rest of the plant looks so much better. It looks so much better. Okay, one done. And that looks so freaking good. That looks so good. I'm gonna water this and just, I love it. I love it so much. I say this every time I do a repotting, but I don't know why I put stuff off for so long, because once the job is done, it's like amazing and I'm always so happy with it. The next one, I brought this little pot because I thought I would put it in here, but then it like doesn't fit right. Maybe it'll fit, I don't know, I like to use that one for soil. I'll figure it out, but I did get the plastic one for this, but I don't know if it's gonna fit, but we shall see. It might fit perfectly. So here's the plant we're working with. I really like this one. I think it's absolutely beautiful. Every time I see one, I always want to get another one. I have a couple of variegated ones that I really love as well. Let's throw all the trash in here. I mean, look at that whole pot of soil I could use for something else. It's funny how in the moment when I'm doing something very stupid, I don't think it's dumb, but I always wish that these were live sometimes so you could tell me, oh my God, don't do that. Because all I see, of course, are comments after the fact that I'm like, oh, too late. I already did it. But you know, this is how you learn. This is how you learn. This is how you get to know your plants. You get to know what you like, what you don't like, what works, what doesn't, what the plant likes. Just a lot of trial and error anyway, you know? All right, that one cleaned up really easily. I am gonna cut off these little crusty tips. In my experience and in my opinion, I think that happens when, perfect fit. I think that happens when you let the plant stay too dry. And I know people do say that it's because the type of water you're using or whatever. I've never had that experience. It's usually when I let it get too dried out that it kind of starts sucking water out of the leaves and out of the foliage. You know, it looks good like this, but once I let it loose in the pot, I hate it. I hate it. So, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go get some Velcro and we're just gonna tape it together. Okay, got my, I don't know, Velcro. I got the Velcro, it's the Velcro brand. It's just like this, like fabric on one side and then the Velcro on the other side, so that way it doesn't hurt your plant. I'm just gonna tie this up together so it doesn't look so ugly. Cute! I mean, does that look dumber? It kind of looks like a palm tree. I don't know. Oh, this is my desert rose pot from the other day. All right, let's just fill it on up. I don't know if I like that, but you know what? It's happening. It's happening. All right, let me do a little cutting of these dried tips. And if you cut it like in a nice round shape, no one will know that you cut it off. I used to think that cutting off these tips of the leaves would kill the whole leaf. And my grandma's the one that told me, just cut it off. And I was like, I don't know, I just didn't do it for the longest time because I thought the whole leaf would die. So I'm like, no, I'm hurting the leaf. Isn't the leaf gonna die? But it won't, it'll be okay. Sometimes it will continue to get crusty and then that cut will just get crusty. But it kind of depends on how you treat the plant after you cut the crust off. In my experience, keep it a little more moist than you had been. Don't let it stay too dry in between waterings. I love it. I think it's so cute. It looks like a cute little palm tree, doesn't it? I don't know if I like the way this looks though, but I guess depending on where I put it, you might not see it anyway. But there we go. I don't know. It doesn't fit in there that well, but it's going to be its home for now anyway. But that is it. I'm so glad that I did this. I got to clean off the plant. I have a whole bucket of soil to use now. And the plants look so much freaking better. I mean, look at this. A million times better. This is probably what I should have known, because when I planted them all together, I was sick of having all these separate plants. But now I have new plants. I have 2 brand new plants. I didn't have to buy anything. But that is it. Let me know some of your biggest plant combining mistakes. I would love to know what they are. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe so you don't miss my next one, and I will see you later in another video. Goodbye.